session is that there was a parole commission and all the legislation that was recommended out of that got defeated. So the question is, do we really want to do a task force? Is that a real good strategy? But that's something we need to explore and talk about and think about making it, see where these studies take us to help to assure some success with that. The mini panel number 2, I'm pleased to address, to announce the Delegate Krizek, who is new. We had a TANF increase bill, and it was successful. We got a TANF increase this year. In the past, it's taken 15 years. Delegate Murphy, Kathleen Murphy, had put in a scholarship fund for foster care kids, and Delegate Sickles, we take our hats off to you. You did the amazing thing. You got child support going from the government to the family. Increased the amount. Delegate Palm, you got EITC, some improvements. And Delegate Lopez, you just hit the ball out of the park when you testified. And you got the apprenticeships for welfare recipients, for TANF recipients. Big thank you to you. That was an amazing success. I think Delegate Lopez bill is the first time I've ever had it. We've had a bill that went through the Senate 39-0 and what, about 99, yeah, how many? There's 100 House members, so it went through unanimously on the House side as well. Thank you, that's amazing. Why don't we start off, Delegate Krizek, you, along with Delegate Lopez, really hit the ball out of the park in your testimony on the TANF increase. And you said to me afterward that just because it's 2.5%, you're going to come back for another one. So can you give us your plans?
Well, I certainly can't take credit, and I think Delegate Sickles is going to talk in a few minutes, but he's on the Appropriations Committee and the subcommittee that's in charge of this and allocates this money, and I would really like to thank him for all that he did. I don't know where he's he's the leader that got that through. But my strategy as a freshman was to go big. So I asked for 10% for 3 years, for the next 3 years. And even with the 10% increase, as Senator Favola mentioned, there was we had a big carryover. And even with a 10% increase over 3 years, we still have money in that TANF block grant. So we're right now in the state. I think I think last year was around $267 was your average TANF monthly amount, and mine would raise that for $293 to $322 and to $355 after 3 years. And it sounds like it's 10% over 3 years sounds like a lot, but when you think of going from $267 to $355 in fiscal year 19, that's not a lot of money. That's nothing. So we really need to do. I'm going to come back and try to get at least another 2.5%, and we'll keep fighting for that. But it's important, and we can't let that money. I'm worried, as Senator Favola mentioned also, I'm really worried that feds could take that money back. If we're not going to spend it, there's other states that will. So it's incumbent upon us to do our best to use this money for the purposes of that the block grant is for, which is really getting cash into these people's pockets so that it's really a hand up. It's not a handout. It's as Senator Barker mentioned, it's 2 years and 5 years for your entire life, this benefit. So it's a chance for folks to find a job and to get and to become self-sufficient. And you can't do it if you're penny pinching them and you're giving them the small amount, because then they're on survival mode only. So we need to do better with that. And so I'm very pleased that we got a 2.5%, because last year was the first time in I think 8 years. And
No, I got one 3 years ago.
Oh, 3 years ago. Good for you, son. So we've got to keep doing it. And I'm glad. But it's just still not enough, really. So and I also want to thank my cousin John, we're both from Czechoslovakia, from descent here. So we must be cousins. He came down and testified at the Appropriations Committee, and he was fantastic. And thank you for doing that.
We're long lost cousins.
Yeah.
Long live the Czech Republic. Delegate Murphy, could you say a few words about your scholarship for foster care kids?
My scholarship.
Scholarship.
You mean my proposed scholarship? It's fine. I'm loud. John brought this to me. I haven't been in the House of Delegates quite as long as the rest of them, except for Jennifer here. Well, and you.
Getting seniority.
Okay, so there is a crew here. But we took this bill to the Budget Committee. We unfortunately, ran into Landis and Rob Bell, who oppose almost everything I propose.
Not the only one.
Yeah. And what we see is, though, that with money left over, there is a way to do this. We will submit the bill again. It sort of gets lost in this budget process. You go, you testify, and they look at you and they say thank you, and then you go, well, now what? Will you ever tell me? And you never see it again. You literally never see it again until the budget comes out. You can go talk to them, but they really give you no information. And it was a great learning experience for me. And I'm getting better at this. Yeah, well, I've got a lot of good teachers here, but what we have is so many more kids in need of help, and so many young people who can have a chance if we just give them a hand up. And that's what we intend to do, and that's what all of us are working here to do. And I love being part of this, and thank you all for everything that you do to help us. And we'll think of some new measures too to add to this.